Are you feeling stuck, burned out, or just tired of not knowing what you're really meant to do with your life? Then stop scrolling, because this might just be the most important video you watch this year. Welcome to the PathFinder by Nicholas Lohr, a career design guide that's helped millions of people finally answer the question, what should I do with my life? This isn't another boring job hunting book. It's a deep, reflective, hands-on journey that will challenge how you think, inspire who you want to become, and guide you to a career that actually fits you, your personality, your passions, and your purpose. Nicholas Lohr is a pioneer in career coaching, and the PathFinder is the result of decades of work with real people searching for clarity. He believes you're not here to settle. You're here to design a life, not just a job, that excites you every single day. In this episode, we'll walk through the key ideas, tools, and mindset shifts from each chapter. You'll get the wisdom and the practical steps to break free from confusion and step boldly into your future. So if you've ever asked, is this all there is? Or what am I really meant to do? You're in the right place. Hit that like button if you're ready to take control of your life. Share this with a friend who needs direction. And subscribe for more powerful book summaries that can truly change the course of your journey. All right, take a deep breath, open your mind, and let's begin the path toward your best life. Chapter 1. This can be your guide. Right now, you might be standing at a crossroads, feeling stuck, uncertain, maybe even overwhelmed. You've been told to follow your passion, but no one tells you how to find it. You're expected to choose a career, one that fits your strengths, values, and dreams. Yet no one hands you the map. That's why this book exists, and why the PathFinder can be your guide. Nicholas Lohr wrote this book after decades of helping people discover what they were meant to do. Not in theory, but in real life. Thousands of clients, countless transformations. This isn't just information. It's a step-by-step process. You won't be told what to do. You'll learn how to find your own answers. Because the career you're searching for, the one that fits who you are, already lives within you. This book helps you uncover it, piece by piece, layer by layer. You'll explore your values, your interests, your skills and natural strengths. You'll look at what truly lights you up and what doesn't. And slowly, you'll begin to see a path form in front of you. One that isn't based on fear or pressure, but on truth. Lohr reminds us, choosing your career is one of the most important decisions of your life. Not because it defines you, but because it reflects you. You deserve a life that energizes you, a job that fits your soul, not just your resume. And that starts by giving yourself permission to explore. You don't need to have all the answers yet. You just need a system and a commitment to do the work. That's what the PathFinder offers. Not a quick fix, but a powerful, guided journey into what's possible. So if you're ready to stop drifting, if you're ready to discover who you are and what you're here to do, then welcome. This can be your guide. Chapter 2. You are what you do. We all want to believe we're defined by our dreams, our intentions, the vision we hold in our minds. But Nicholas Lohr challenges that idea. Because the truth is simple and powerful. You are what you do. Not what you say you'll do. Not what you wish you could do. But what you actually put into action. If you want to change your life, you have to change your behavior. Change what you choose to do today. Your actions are your identity made visible. They are the building blocks of your reputation, your opportunities, your direction. Think about it. If you say you want to write a novel, but never sit down to write, what are you really becoming? If you dream of becoming a leader, but never speak up or take responsibility, how do you expect the world to see you as one? Lohr is direct. Your life is shaped, one decision at a time, by what you do. It's not magic. It's momentum. It's discipline. It's courage. And here's the good news. This means you're never stuck. Because no matter what your past actions were, you can always choose differently today. Who you are becoming is completely up to you. You get to decide. You get to act. And every single day, your habits are casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be. If you want to find your path, the one that fits your soul and your strengths, you must begin acting like the kind of person who walks that path. Show up for your dream, one small action at a time, even if it's messy, even if it's slow. That's how change begins, not through big declarations, but by showing up consistently. So if you want to know who you are, look at what you do. And if you want to change who you are becoming, change what you do next. Chapter 3. How to decide. Most people think indecision is a flaw. But the truth? It's a signal, a sign that something inside you needs clarity. In the PathFinder, Nicholas Lohr reminds us, your future doesn't get shaped by chance. It's shaped by choices. And learning how to make powerful decisions is a skill. You might be standing in front of a big question right now. What should I do with my life? What career should I choose? How do I know if I'm making the right move? Lohr teaches that every decision comes down to a simple process. Get the facts, tune into your values, then act. Sounds simple, right? But here's the thing, most people get stuck in one of those steps. Some people obsess over the facts, collecting information until they're buried in options. Others jump too fast, making decisions without checking whether it truly fits who they are. And many people never act at all. They wait for certainty, but certainty never comes. Lohr reminds us, decisions are rarely about knowing 100%. They're about knowing enough, then choosing to move forward. If you're stuck between two paths, ask yourself, which one aligns with your values? Which one feels more true to the person you want to become? Don't just chase security, chase significance. You see, there's no perfect formula, no single right answer for everyone. But there is a right answer for you. And the more you learn to trust yourself, to know what matters to you, the more confident you'll become in your decisions. Lohr encourages us to experiment, to test ideas in the real world, to stop waiting and start doing. Because every decision is progress. Even if it's not perfect, it leads you closer to clarity. And that's how you find your path, one decision at a time. Chapter 4. Use the PathFinder as your guide. Choosing a career can feel overwhelming. There are so many paths, so many what-ifs, so much pressure to get it right. That's where the PathFinder comes in. This book isn't just filled with ideas. It's a step-by-step guide. Nicholas Lohr created this process after working with thousands of people who were lost, stuck, or confused about what to do with their lives. He saw a pattern. People aren't broken. They're just disconnected from their purpose, their strengths, and their truth. The PathFinder is here to reconnect you, to help you cut through the noise and tap into something deeper. This book is designed to be interactive. It's not just something you read, it's something you do. Every chapter offers tools, exercises, reflections, questions that dig beneath the surface and pull out what really matters. Lohr encourages you to take your time. You don't have to rush through this. You're building a life, not checking off a box. So let the PathFinder be your companion. Use it like a personal career coach, guiding you from confusion to clarity. You'll explore your values, your passions, your talents, and you'll learn how to turn those into a career that feels alive, not just tolerable. Lohr is honest. This work takes effort. But it's worth it. Because the alternative, drifting through life on autopilot, is far more exhausting. So treat this book like a mirror. It will reflect who you really are and who you're capable of becoming. You are the hero of this journey. Let the PathFinder be your map, and let every step you take from here bring you closer to the life you were born to live. Chapter 5. Why you don't get what you want. Let's face it, most of us want more out of life. More purpose, more energy, more clarity about where we're going and why. But here's the hard truth that Nicholas Lore delivers in the Pathfinder. You don't get what you want because you're not fully committed. That's not meant to shame you. It's meant to wake you up. Lore explains that there's a massive difference between wanting something and committing to it. Wanting is passive. It's a daydream. It lives in the future. But commitment? That's where the real transformation begins. Commitment shows up in your actions, in what you do every day, not just what you think about. You say you want a fulfilling career? Then why are you still stuck in the same patterns? You say you want to do meaningful work? Then why aren't you actively exploring what that really means for you? Lore reminds us, your results reflect your level of commitment. And this isn't about hustling harder. It's about honesty, getting brutally clear about what's been holding you back. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's perfectionism. Sometimes it's the comfort of doing nothing. But here's the liberating part. The moment you fully commit, your energy shifts. Opportunities start showing up. Decisions get easier. Doubt begins to fade. Lore encourages you to go all and not halfway. To say, this matters to me, and then act like it does. That means making time, saying no to distractions, doing the hard inner work even when it's uncomfortable. If you want to design a life and career you love, you can't just dip your toe in. You've got to dive. Because clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from doing, from committing to the process, step by step. This chapter is your challenge. Are you ready to stop just wanting change and start creating it? Chapter 6. The Power of Commitment. There's a moment in everyone's journey when a simple decision separates success from struggle. That moment is called commitment. Nicholas Lore doesn't sugarcoat it. Until you commit, your life will stay in limbo. You can read all the books, take all the personality tests, dream all the dreams. But without commitment, nothing changes. So what is commitment really? Lore defines it as the moment you stop asking if you'll move forward and start asking how. It's when you stop waiting for clarity to show up and start building it with your actions. Commitment turns maybe into momentum. It transforms vague goals into a real plan. It silences that inner voice that keeps whispering, "What if I fail?" Because once you're committed, failure becomes feedback, not a reason to quit. Lore reminds us that commitment isn't about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to move forward in spite of fear. It's a declaration that says, I'm done settling. I'm ready to create a life that fits me, not just pays the bills. But let's be honest, commitment is uncomfortable. It asks for sacrifice. It demands your time, your focus, and your energy. And yet, that's exactly what makes it powerful. Because when you truly commit, you become unstoppable. You stop flinching at the first obstacle. You start making progress, not just plans. Lore challenges you in this chapter. What would it look like if you were fully committed to discovering your best fit career? What would you do differently starting today? Remember, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to commit to figuring it out. To stay in motion. To keep showing up. To trust that the process will lead somewhere meaningful. So if you're standing at a crossroads right now, don't just think about taking the path. Commit to it. Because once you do, the road starts to rise up to meet you. Chapter 7. Making Decisions a Short Course. Every major life change begins with a decision. And in the Pathfinder, Nicholas Lore wants you to know something. You're more powerful than you think because you always have a choice. This chapter breaks down the process of decision-making, not in theory, but in practice. We often think big decisions should feel certain, but Lore flips that idea upside down. Most decisions don't start with clarity, they create it. Waiting for the perfect answer? That's a trap. Perfectionism keeps you paralyzed. Progress begins the moment you stop overthinking and start acting. Lore walks you through the truth about real-world decision-making. You'll never have 100% certainty, and that's okay. The job of a decision isn't to guarantee an outcome. It's to create momentum. Still feeling stuck? Lore offers 3 powerful reminders. 1. A wrong decision is better than no decision. You can always course correct, but you can't grow from standing still. 2. Listen to your instincts and test your hunches. No one knows you better than you. Try small experiments to gather feedback. 3. Your values are your compass. The more aligned a decision feels with your core beliefs, the more confidence you'll have moving forward. Lore also introduces what he calls PathFinder thinking. This mindset invites curiosity instead of judgment. Instead of asking, is this right or wrong? Ask, what will this teach me? And most of all, give yourself permission to evolve. Your first decision isn't your final destination. It's a starting point. So don't wait until everything feels safe. Start with what you know. Make the best decision you can with the information you have. And then, trust yourself to learn along the way. Because life isn't about always knowing the path. It's about choosing to walk it anyway. Chapter 8. Goals and Projects. Your future doesn't just happen. It's built, one goal, one project, one step at a time. In this chapter, Nicholas Lore pulls the curtain back on how to translate your career dreams into real action. And it all begins with a single question. What do you want? Not someday. Not eventually. What do you want now, and are you willing to go after it? Lore shows us that the most successful people treat their lives like a series of meaningful projects. Each project brings them one step closer to a life that fits. And here's the good news. You don't need to have your whole life figured out. You just need a goal and the courage to begin. Start by choosing clear, measurable, and time-bound goals. Vague hopes like find my passion or get a better job won't get you far. Instead, explore 3 careers that match my top strengths by the end of the month. That's a project. It's focused. It's actionable. And it moves you forward. Lore emphasizes the power of small wins. You don't need one giant breakthrough. You need momentum. Because every small project completed builds confidence. And confidence builds clarity. Here's the secret. When you treat your career like a creative project, it becomes something you design, not something that happens to you. And like any great project, you'll need deadlines, support, milestones. That's what keeps you accountable and inspired. Lore encourages you to write your goals down. Speak them out loud. Make them real. Ask yourself, what project would move my life forward this month? What would I be proud to complete, even if no one noticed? Because at the end of the day, your dream career isn't a single choice. It's a series of brave, thoughtful projects that add up to a meaningful life. So grab a notebook. Draw a timeline. Commit to the next step. Your future is a project worth starting. Chapter 9. Questions. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is ask the right question. In this chapter, Nicholas Lore shifts the focus. Instead of giving you more answers, he invites you to lean into curiosity. Because clarity doesn't always come from thinking harder. It comes from asking better questions. Lore says that the quality of your career and your life is shaped by the quality of questions you ask yourself. Questions that dig deeper. Questions that reveal what really matters to you. Not, what should I do with my life? But, what lights me up, even when no one's watching? Not, what job will make me successful? But, what kind of work makes me feel alive? Lore gives you permission to let go of surface-level answers. Instead, he challenges you to reflect, to get honest, to be bold in your self-discovery. Here are a few of the game-changing questions from the chapter. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? When in my life have I felt most fulfilled? What kinds of problems do I love to solve? If money weren't an issue, what would I wake up and do tomorrow? You don't need to answer them all at once, but you do need to start asking. Because every great career, every life filled with meaning, begins with curiosity. With the courage to ask, who am I really? And what am I here to contribute? These questions are your compass. They point you toward possibility, and they remind you that the answers are already inside you, waiting to be uncovered. So take the time, write them down, reflect deeply, and trust the process. The path to your dream work isn't paved with certainty. It's guided by powerful questions and your willingness to listen. Chapter 10. When you get stuck. Everyone gets stuck. Even the most inspired, the most driven, the most prepared. And Nicholas Lohr wants you to know, it's not a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that something important is trying to happen. In this chapter, Lohr speaks directly to that feeling of being frozen, when you don't know what to do next, or when fear whispers that you're not good enough. Here's the truth. Stuckness is part of the process. It's not the end. It's a pause, a moment of inner recalibration. Lohr encourages you to take a deep breath and get curious, not critical. Ask yourself, what's really holding me back? Is it fear? Overwhelm? Perfectionism? Or maybe, I just don't know where to begin. The key is to move, even just a little, because action dissolves fear, and momentum crushes resistance. One tiny step. Make the call, send the email, write the list, ask for help. You don't need a master plan. You just need to do something. Lohr reminds us that stuckness often comes from disconnection. Disconnection from your values, your goals, or your support system. So reconnect. Read your journal. Call a mentor. Revisit your why. And above all, be kind to yourself. Progress isn't linear. Some days are messy. Some seasons feel like quicksand. But your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to keep going. Getting stuck doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing. You're on the edge of a breakthrough. So don't give up. Don't shrink back. Keep asking. Keep showing up. Keep moving forward. Because on the other side of stuck is momentum, clarity, and transformation. Chapter 11. The bottom line, research. If you want to make the best career decision of your life, you've got to do your homework. This chapter is about the secret weapon that most people overlook. Research. Nicholas Lohr calls it the bottom line, because without solid research, your dreams are built on guesses. But with research, you build your future on truth, clarity, and confidence. Let's be real. It's tempting to pick a career based on assumptions. We think, I like helping people. Maybe I should be a therapist. Or, I'm good at math. Maybe I'll go into finance. But Lohr warns, without exploring what these paths are really like, you might be walking into something that looks good on paper, but feels like a trap in real life. That's why research matters. Because the goal isn't just to find any job. It's to find the right fit for your values, your strengths, your lifestyle. Lohr outlines 3 powerful types of research you need to do: book research, online research, and most importantly, people research. You can learn a lot from articles, videos, and statistics, but nothing replaces talking to real people who are doing the work you're curious about. Ask questions. Listen to their stories. Get a feel for the rhythm of their day-to-day. What do they love? What frustrates them? What advice would they give to someone just starting out? This is where insight lives. This is how you see behind the curtain. And here's the good news. People love to talk about their journeys. All you have to do is ask. So be bold. Reach out. Do informational interviews. Shadow professionals. Volunteer if you can. Because the more you learn, the more clearly your own path will come into view. Don't rush this part. Your future deserves this level of care. The bottom line? Research is the bridge between curiosity and clarity. It's how you turn big dreams into grounded decisions. So get out there. Ask, listen, learn, and watch your path begin to unfold, step by informed step. Chapter 12. Right livelihood. There's work. And then there's right livelihood. Nicholas Lohr describes right livelihood as more than a job, more than a paycheck, more than a title. It's work that feeds your soul. Right livelihood is the career path that aligns with your values, your strengths, your deepest motivations. It's about making a living without compromising your life. This chapter asks one powerful question. What are you really here to do? Not what society expects, not what your degree says, not what pays the most or sounds impressive, but what brings you alive. Right livelihood sits at the intersection of three things: what you're good at, what you love, and what the world actually needs. And when you find that sweet spot, work no longer feels like a grind. It becomes a calling, a contribution, a natural expression of who you are. Lore reminds us, there is no one-size-fits-all version of success. Right livelihood is personal. For some, it might mean teaching. For others, launching a startup. For someone else, quietly creating art. The key is to define success for yourself, and then build your life around that vision. Right livelihood doesn't mean every day will be easy, but it does mean every day will be meaningful. And that's the trade-off worth making. Lore also highlights that your right livelihood may evolve over time. You might outgrow a role. You might discover new interests. You might redefine your values. That's not failure. That's growth. And growth is the path to deeper alignment. So take time to reflect. What lights you up? What drains you? What do you want to give to the world? And what do you want in return? Because when you discover your right livelihood, you're not just building a career. You're building a life. One that matters. One that lasts. One that feels like you. Chapter 13. 7 Keys. You've done the work. You've reflected, researched, and wrestled with tough questions. Now it's time to gather the tools, the 7 keys, to unlocking a fulfilling career. Nicholas Lohr offers these keys as guiding principles, truths to keep with you as you move forward with clarity and confidence. Key 1. Know yourself. Before choosing a path, understand who you really are. Your values, your natural talents, your passions. Self-awareness isn't optional. It's essential. Key 2. Know what you want. Be specific. Don't just say a good job. What does good mean to you? Flexibility? Impact? High pay? Clarity in your desires creates direction. Key 3. Know what's out there. The job market is vast and ever-changing. Explore widely. Stay curious. Your dream job may not even be on your radar yet. Key 4. Match who you are with what's out there. This is where the magic happens. When your skills, personality, and interests align with real-world opportunities, you find flow, satisfaction, and meaning. Key 5. Don't settle. Mediocrity is not your destiny. Don't take a job just because it's there. Take one because it feels right. Key 6. Take action. All the insight in the world won't matter unless you move. Call that person. Send the resume. Take the class. Momentum builds clarity. Key 7. Be willing to course correct. Your path won't be perfect, and that's okay. Success is less about getting it right the first time, and more about staying flexible, staying curious, and learning as you go. These 7 keys aren't steps to follow once. They're lifelong tools. They're a mindset. They remind you that the career journey is a dynamic process, one that requires courage, clarity, and commitment. You don't need all the answers today, but you do need a compass. And these keys? They are yours to carry. Let them guide you, challenge you, and remind you that your path is yours to create. Every decision, every step, gets you closer to the life you were meant to live. Chapter 14. The Rockport Career Design Method. You've learned the keys. You've gained insight. But how do you put it all together? That's where the Rockport Career Design Method comes in. Created by Nicholas Lohr and the Rockport Institute, this method is the heart of the PathFinder. It's a system, a process, a proven path to design a career that fits your soul. This isn't guesswork. It's a structured journey based on deep self-knowledge and strategic exploration. Let's break it down. Step 1. Self-discovery. Before anything else, you dive into who you really are. Your natural aptitudes, your passions, your values. The Rockport method helps you uncover your design specs, the blueprint of what makes you thrive. Step 2. Ideal career vision. This isn't just a list of job titles. It's a living vision of your ideal workday, your environment, the people you work with, the problems you solve. You imagine success as a reality, not a dream. Step 3. Career possibilities. You brainstorm careers that match your vision, not just the obvious choices, but hidden gems. The Rockport method expands your awareness of what's out there. Step 4. Research and reality check. Now it's time to test the waters. Conduct informational interviews. Shadow professionals. Dig into the day-to-day. This step turns your vision into something tangible. Step 5. Decision-making. Armed with insight, you narrow down which careers are the best fit, emotionally, practically, and financially. You don't just make a decision. You make an informed one. Step 6. Action plan. Finally, you map out your path. What education do you need? What skills should you develop? Who do you need to connect with? It becomes real, step by step, goal by goal. The Rockport method isn't about picking a job. It's about designing a life. One that honors your potential, challenges your mind, and fills your days with purpose. Lore reminds us, career isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create. And this method, it's your blueprint, your compass, your step-by-step guide to building a career and a life that fits. You're not lost. You're just one decision away from clarity. Chapter 15. Temperament and personality. Your personality isn't just who you are. It's how you move through the world. It's the emotional fingerprint that shapes the way you think, act, and respond. And understanding it deeply is one of the most powerful keys to finding the work you were meant to do. Nicholas Lore makes one thing clear. Career satisfaction isn't just about skills or interests. It's about fit. And your temperament is one of the biggest factors in determining that fit. You may be highly analytical or more spontaneous. You may crave structure or thrive in freedom. You might get your energy from quiet reflection or from lively interaction. None of it is right or wrong. It's just you. The Rockport approach encourages you to uncover your true personality type, not just the one you've learned to play in public. It challenges you to drop the masks, to look beyond who the world expects you to be, and instead ask, who am I at my core? Tools like the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator can be useful, but the deeper work? It's about observation, self-reflection, honesty. What drains you? What energizes you? What kind of work rhythms allow you to thrive? What kind of tasks make time fly and which feel like a slow grind? Lore reminds us that ignoring your temperament is like driving with the parking brake on. You may still move forward, but it's exhausting. And over time, it wears you down. Imagine building a life and a career that works with your personality instead of against it. Imagine walking into a job where your natural energy isn't a liability. It's an asset. That's the power of aligning work with temperament. You stop pretending. You start thriving. The truth is, no amount of skill or training can overcome a daily mismatch between your personality and your job. That's why this chapter matters. Because when your work feels right, emotionally, psychologically, everything else starts to fall into place. So take the time to explore who you are, not just what you can do. Your temperament isn't a flaw to fix. It's a design feature, one that points the way to a career and a life that fits like a glove. Chapter 16. Your core personality. If you stripped away the labels, the expectations, the roles you've been playing for years, What would be left? That's your core personality. Nicholas Lore invites you to meet yourself, maybe for the first time. Because your career path shouldn't be built on assumptions. It should be built on truth. Your core personality isn't what you show at job interviews. It's not the polished version you put on social media. It's the part of you that remains consistent, no matter where you go. Are you naturally reflective or expressive? Do you recharge alone or around people? Do you prefer order or do you thrive in spontaneity? These aren't quirks. They're clues. Lore explains that aligning your work with your personality is not just helpful. It's essential. When your daily tasks go against your natural style, you experience friction, stress, burnout, dissatisfaction. But when your work environment matches who you are, you don't just function, you flourish. So how do you uncover your core personality? Not just through a quiz, through curiosity, by reflecting on your life. When have you felt most alive? Most at ease? Most you? Lore emphasizes one thing. There's no right personality for success. Introverts can lead. Extroverts can innovate. Organized minds can build empires. And free spirits can change the world. The key is not to change yourself to fit a job. It's to find the job that fits who you are. When you understand your core personality, decision-making becomes easier. You say yes to the right things and no to the rest. Imagine waking up and stepping into work that energizes you instead of draining you. That possibility starts with self-awareness, with the courage to say, this is who I am, and this is the life I want to build. Don't silence your instincts. Don't suppress your nature. They're your career compass. Follow them, because your most powerful path is the one that lets you be fully you. Chapter 17. Natural Talents. You were born with something special. A way of thinking, moving, solving problems, creating. It's not something you were taught. It's something you were born with. That is your natural talent. Nicholas Lore makes it clear. You don't need to become someone else to succeed. You need to become more of who you already are. Natural talents often hide in plain sight. They come so easily to you. You assume everyone can do them. But they can't. What's effortless to you might be extraordinary to others. Are you a problem solver? A connector of people? Do you notice patterns? Or bring calm to chaos? Do you write, build, lead, or imagine without even trying? Your talents are already part of you. But if you don't recognize them, you'll undervalue them. And if you undervalue them, you'll overlook opportunities that were made for you. Lore encourages you to pause and reflect. Think back to your childhood, when you were most free. What did you gravitate toward? What came naturally? Now think about your adult life. What are you praised for even when you didn't put in much effort? This is not about ego. It's about alignment. Because when you work in your zone of natural ability, work doesn't feel like work. You feel energized, capable, on fire. The world trains us to fix our weaknesses. But what if we double down on our strengths? What if you designed a career around your natural wiring, instead of trying to fit into someone else's mold? That's the power of discovering your talents. It's not about becoming something you're not. It's about finally using what you've had all along. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do you really well. And when your work reflects your strengths, success doesn't feel forced. It feels inevitable. Chapter 18. Natural Roles. You weren't just born with talents. You were also born with a natural role in the world. A way of showing up. A position you take instinctively in teams, relationships, and even in life. Nicholas Lore invites you to see your role not as a job title, but as your natural way of contributing. Some people are born leaders. They step up, take charge, and guide others effortlessly. Others are natural supporters. They make systems run smoothly, holding things together behind the scenes. Some are creatives, bringing ideas, beauty, and innovation. Some are connectors, bridging gaps and bringing people together. The magic lies in knowing your role and owning it. Because when you try to force yourself into a role that doesn't match who you are, everything feels harder. You get tired, disconnected, unsure. But when you play your natural role, your energy flows. You feel on purpose. Lore explains that your natural role isn't just a preference. It's how you're wired to make a difference. And when you match your work to that role, your value increases effortlessly. Take a moment and ask, what role do you fall into without trying? Are you the one who plans, inspires, builds, analyzes? Others often see it in you, even before you do. That's why paying attention to feedback, to patterns, and to your own satisfaction is key. You don't have to be everything. You just have to be you fully. Your role, played well, can transform a team, a project, even a life. Too often, we waste time trying to mimic someone else's path. But you're not here to copy. You're here to contribute in a way only you can. So what's your natural role? Once you find it and lean into it, your career clarity grows. Success isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing for you. Chapter 19. The Games of Life. Life isn't just a path. It's a series of games. And the key to fulfillment is choosing the right ones to play. Nicholas Lore introduces a powerful metaphor that life, careers, and even relationships are made up of games. And every game has its own rules, rewards, and risks. Some games are competitive. Some are creative. Some are about service. Others are about exploration. The problem is, most of us are playing games we never chose. We follow rules we never questioned. We chase rewards we don't actually want. That's where confusion sets in. That's when work starts to feel meaningless, because we're not aligned with the game that fits who we are. Lore invites you to ask, what kind of games do you love to play? Do you thrive in fast-paced, high-stakes challenges? Or do you prefer slower, deeper, more thoughtful pursuits? Are you driven by curiosity, mastery, connection, recognition? The answers point to the games you're meant to play. And when you play the right ones, everything changes. You feel energized, focused, and fulfilled. You're not pushing yourself. You're pulled forward. But be warned, not all games are worth playing. Some games drain your spirit. Some trap you in constant comparison. Some make you feel like you're never enough, no matter how hard you try. The real power comes when you stop playing by default and start playing by design. Lore reminds us, you don't need to win everyone's game. You just need to find your game and play it brilliantly. So pause. Reflect. What are the rules you're living by right now? Who wrote them? Do they still serve you? Because you have a choice. You can walk off the field of games that don't fit and step fully into the ones that light you up. Play the games that challenge you in the best ways, that stretch your potential, that reward the real you. This is your life. Choose your games wisely. Chapter 20. They pay you to perform specific job functions. Let's get one thing clear. When you get hired, it's not for your charm, your degree, or even your resume. You're hired to perform specific job functions. This chapter is your wake-up call. A reminder that behind every job title, every role, is a set of tasks someone needs to get done. If you can do them well, consistently, and with excellence, you become invaluable. Nicholas Lore challenges the myth that a job is just a title or a paycheck. It's actually a promise, a commitment to deliver outcomes, to solve problems, to create value. So if you're confused about what career to pursue, don't just ask, what sounds good? Ask instead, what functions would I enjoy doing every day? Because your success depends on how well your natural abilities align with the functions of the job. If you hate spreadsheets, don't take a role that drowns in data. If you thrive on collaboration, avoid isolated, solo work. It's not about the job title. It's about the daily reality of what you'll actually be doing. Lore introduces a powerful concept, the functional job description. Instead of just reading job ads, create your own. Design a role based on what you do best and seek opportunities that match. This gives you clarity and, more importantly, control. You're no longer passively hoping for a job that fits. You're actively shaping your future. Because here's the truth. Employers don't pay you for your potential. They pay you for performance. And when you align your strengths with job functions, performance becomes effortless. So start asking better questions. What tasks energize you? What problems do you love solving? What kind of work feels natural, like it was made for you? Because when you find a role where the functions match your gifts, you don't just get paid, you get fulfilled. And that's the ultimate win. Chapter 21. Passions, meaning, mission, purpose. This is where everything starts to come together. Not just what you're good at, not just what pays the bills, but what lights your soul on fire. Nicholas Lore takes us into the heart of the journey, a place where passion meets purpose, and your mission begins to take shape. Let's face it, we're all looking for more than a paycheck. We want our work to matter, to feel like we're making a difference, to know our time, energy, and talents are going somewhere meaningful. That's the promise of this chapter. To help you unlock your unique purpose, the intersection of your passion, your strengths, and the impact you want to make. Lore challenges the old idea that passion is something you find. He argues it's something you build by paying attention to what excites you, to what moves you, to what makes you lose track of time. He urges you to dig deeper. What problems do you care about solving? What communities do you feel drawn to serve? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Because purpose isn't one thing. It's a theme that runs through your best moments. A thread that connects your experiences, values, and talents. It's not about saving the world. It's about doing work that feels right to you. That adds value. That reflects who you are. That brings meaning to your hours. Mission comes when you align that inner fire with outer action. It's not just about what you do. It's about why you do it. And meaning? Meaning is what happens when every part of you shows up. Your skills, your values, your heart. Lore reminds us, you won't find your purpose overnight. But you can follow the clues. You can experiment, explore, stay curious. Because when your work is aligned with your passion and your mission, you don't just get energy, you give energy to the world. This is the beginning of true career fulfillment. Not by chance, by design. Chapter 22. Values and rewards. Let's talk about what really matters. Not just the title, not just the salary, but what you value. Because when it comes to career happiness, alignment with your core values is everything. Nicholas Lore calls this your internal compass. Your values are the beliefs and priorities that shape your decisions, whether you realize it or not. And here's the truth. When your career clashes with your values, no paycheck can make up for it. But when your work supports your values, you feel energized, fulfilled, and alive. So the big question is, what matters most to you? Is it creativity, security, freedom, making a difference, balance, adventure, growth? Your values are like filters. When you run job choices through them, you quickly see what fits and what doesn't. It's how you move from confusion to clarity. Now, let's talk rewards. These are the tangible and emotional benefits you receive in return for your work. And they're more than just money. Lore encourages you to identify the specific rewards that drive you. Do you crave recognition, autonomy, a sense of purpose, time freedom, prestige? Different people are motivated by different rewards. That's why a job that excites one person can drain another. Here's the key insight. When your career delivers the rewards you value, you thrive. And when it doesn't, no amount of shit will keep you happy. So take inventory. List your top values. List your most meaningful rewards. Then compare them to your current or potential job. Are you in alignment? If not, that's your signal to course correct. Because career success isn't just about climbing a ladder. It's about climbing the right ladder, one that leans against a wall that truly matters to you. When your values and rewards align with your work, you don't just perform better. You feel better, stronger, clearer, more alive. That's not wishful thinking. That's intentional living. Chapter 23. Workplace Environment. It's not just what you do that matters. It's where and how you do it. Your workplace environment shapes your daily experience, and it can make or break your job satisfaction. Nicholas Lohr reminds us that the right job in the wrong environment still feels wrong. Think about it. Do you thrive in a quiet space? Or do you need energy and social buzz? Do you prefer structure and stability? Or freedom and flexibility? Some people love the intensity of deadlines. Others crave calm, predictable rhythms. This isn't about right or wrong. It's about knowing your natural fit. Your environment includes the physical space, the culture, the pace, the people, and the energy of your surroundings. If you're a creative thinker, a rigid corporate culture might stifle you. If you value order and planning, a chaotic startup might drain your energy. Lohr encourages you to ask, when and where have I done my best work? Look for clues in your past, jobs, school, even hobbies. Where did you feel the most alive? Where did you lose track of time? Those memories tell a story of what fuels you. And it's not just about comfort. The right environment brings out your best performance. It allows your talents to shine. It supports your values. And it keeps you motivated long-term. So don't settle. You deserve an environment where you don't have to force yourself to show up because you want to. Where your surroundings lift you up instead of wearing you down. Your environment is more than background noise. It's the amplifier for your potential. And when it's in tune with who you are, you'll work not just harder, but happier. Chapter 24. Which careers fit best? Here's the moment you've been building toward. After all the deep self-reflection, your values, your environment, your talents, you're finally ready to answer the big question. Which careers fit me best? But before we jump into job titles, Nicholas Lohr makes something clear. This isn't about finding the job. It's about identifying the right kind of work that aligns with who you are. Think of it like this. Your ideal career is a custom fit, not a one-size-fits-all label. So how do you find that fit? You look at the intersection of three things. 1. What you're naturally good at. 2. What energizes and excites you. 3. What the world needs and will pay you for. It's your career sweet spot. Lohr guides you to gather all the insights you've uncovered, your talents, temperament, values, ideal environment, passions, and preferences, and use them like a filter. Then, you research. Look for roles that match those criteria. Don't just Google best careers. Look for best careers for you. That's where tools like the flower diagram, informational interviews, and real-world experimentation come in. Lohr encourages you to try on jobs before you commit. Volunteer, shadow someone, freelance, test the waters. This isn't just about avoiding the wrong job. It's about confidently moving toward the right one. You might discover a career you've never even considered. Something off the beaten path, but perfect for your gifts. And remember, this isn't about prestige. It's about alignment. Alignment between who you are and what you do. That's when work stops feeling like a grind and starts becoming a source of joy, growth, and purpose. So, which careers fit best? The ones where you don't have to wear a mask, where your natural self is your greatest asset. And when you find that fit, you won't just land a job, you'll launch a life. Chapter 25. Final research and make the choice. You've come a long way. From confusion to clarity. from second-guessing to self-awareness. Now it's time to bring it all together. To make your decision. Not just any decision, but an informed, confident one. Nicholas Lohr calls this the final research phase. Because even with all the insight you've gained, there's one last piece. Reality testing. You're not guessing anymore. You're verifying. You're making sure that the career paths you're considering truly fit your personality, your values, and your life. So how do you do that? You talk to people who are living it. You ask them what it's really like. You learn what the job requires, what it rewards, and what it costs. This is your final check-in before takeoff. But don't let this step paralyze you. You're not trying to find a perfect job with zero flaws. You're trying to find a great fit, a place where you can grow, thrive, and contribute. And once you've done the research, it's time to make the leap. Make the choice. Own it. This is the moment where clarity becomes action. You've studied the map. Now you pick the path. Lohr reminds us, no decision guarantees certainty, but the right decision-making process guarantees momentum. You've done the work. You've explored your options. You've tested your instincts. Now trust yourself. You are not locked in forever, but you are stepping forward into a career that aligns with your values, your strengths, and your dreams. This is your life. And now, finally, it's your choice. Chapter 26. What if nothing fits or I can't decide? Let's get real. Sometimes, even after all the exercises, all the soul-searching, all the brainstorming, you still feel stuck. Nothing seems to fit. Or worse, everything seems just okay, but nothing feels right. If that's where you are, Nicholas Lohr has good news. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're actually closer than you think. You see, indecision is often a sign of too much pressure. Pressure to find the one perfect answer. But perfection is not the goal. Clarity is. Progress is. Movement is. Sometimes, not deciding is really a form of fear. Fear of making the wrong choice. Fear of missing out on something better. Fear of committing to a direction. But Lohr reminds us, you don't need to figure out your entire life right now. You just need to pick a path, one that aligns with who you are today, and walk it for a while. Because clarity doesn't always come before the decision. It often comes after. So if nothing fits, go back to your flower diagram. Check for gaps. Did you fill it out honestly? Did you explore your talents deeply enough? Did you get too caught up in what's realistic? And if you truly can't decide, pick the most interesting option, the one that excites you or scares you just a little. Then commit, not forever, but just long enough to learn something new. Because staying still won't bring the answer. Movement will. Action will. Experience will. There's no shame in uncertainty. It just means you care about choosing wisely. But don't let the fear of a wrong step keep you from taking the first one. Life is an experiment. Your path is not fixed. It's created by walking. So start walking. Even a wobbly step forward is better than standing still. And who knows? The thing that didn't look like a fit on paper might just be the door to the life you've been waiting for. Chapter 27. Personal Marketing Principles. You've done the inner work. You know your values, strengths, and goals. Now it's time to bring it outward, to the world of opportunity. Welcome to personal marketing. And no, this isn't about selling yourself in a fake or pushy way. It's about communicating the truth of who you are, clearly, confidently, and with purpose. Nicholas Lohr breaks it down like this. Personal marketing is the bridge between your self-knowledge and your dream job. Without it, your passion stays hidden, your talents go unnoticed, and your path forward stays unclear. So how do you market yourself authentically? It starts with a simple mindset shift. You are not asking for a job. You are offering value. You are a problem solver, a contributor, a unique combination of skills, heart, and energy. That's powerful, and people need to hear it. But first, you need to know who your audience is. What organizations align with your flower diagram? What problems do they face? Where do they need help? Next comes your messaging. And it's not just about resumes and cover letters. It's about your story, the narrative that explains where you've been, what you've learned, and where you're going. When you talk about yourself, focus less on titles and more on impact. What problems have you solved? What results have you delivered? How have you made things better wherever you've worked, volunteered, or contributed? And remember this, people don't hire resumes. They hire people. Your goal isn't to impress, it's to connect. Laura encourages you to reach out before applying. Get in touch with people. Ask questions. Learn what matters to them. Then tailor your message to show how you fit their world. And don't be afraid to stand out. You weren't meant to blend in. Your personality is part of your package. Bring your humanity to every conversation. If it helps, think of yourself as a brand, not in the shallow, flashy sense, but as a consistent experience. When people encounter you, through your LinkedIn, your resume, your emails, or in person, do they feel clarity, confidence, genuine energy? That's your job in personal marketing, to create alignment between who you are and how you show up. And remember, this isn't just about getting a job. It's about attracting the right opportunity, the one that recognizes your value and gives you room to thrive. You've come too far to shrink back now. Step up, speak up, show up. Your career is not just a hunt, it's a declaration. Declare who you are, then go make it visible. Chapter 28. The Job Search. Let's talk about the moment of truth. You've done the inner work. You've clarified your mission, explored your talents, and crafted your flower diagram. Now comes the bridge between vision and reality, the job search. For many, this is the most intimidating part, because this is where dreams meet the market, where confidence is tested, where rejection can sting, and persistence becomes your superpower. Nicholas Lohr reminds us that the job search is not a numbers game. It's a strategy game. And the most effective strategy starts with you. Here's the truth. Sending out hundreds of generic resumes? It's the long, exhausting way. And it often leads to silence. But targeting organizations that align with who you are? That's powerful. That's efficient. That's how you land a job that fits. So how do you begin? Start by identifying your targets. Where do people do the kind of work that lights you up? What companies match your values, your energy, your mission? Then, do the research. Don't just skim their careers page. Understand their culture. Read their mission statement. Find their challenges, so you can present yourself as the solution. Next, forget the apply and hope method. Replace it with the reach out and connect approach. Find real people. Send thoughtful messages. Ask smart questions. Be curious, not desperate. Because here's the secret. Most opportunities don't come from job listings. They come from people. They come from relationships. They come from conversations that turn into doors opening. The job search, then, is a dance. It's part outreach, part research, part resilience. And yes, rejection will come. Some emails won't get replies. Some interviews won't go your way. But that doesn't mean you're not qualified. It means you're getting closer. Closer to the one yes that will change everything. So stay focused. Track your efforts. Celebrate the small wins, a reply, a conversation, a lead. This isn't just about landing a job. It's about learning how to navigate opportunity. Lohr emphasizes this. Your ideal job might not even exist yet. You may have to co-create it. Propose a new role. Suggest a unique fit. Bring your initiative to the table. And always remember, you're not begging for a seat. You're offering value. You are a contributor, not a competitor. And the world needs what you bring. So step into the job search with clarity, with confidence, with courage. This isn't just about finding a paycheck. It's about finding your place, your calling, your future. The journey is worth it, and you are ready. Chapter 29. The final chapter. The Rockport Type and Talent Indicator. There's a reason you gravitate towards certain roles, activities, and environments. It's not random. It's the expression of your natural design, your innate talents, your personality patterns, your preferences. Nicholas Lohr introduces the Rockport Type and Talent Indicator as a tool that helps you decode that design. Think of it as a mirror. It doesn't just reflect what you can do. It reveals what you were born to do. The Rockport system is built on decades of career design research. It's not a generic personality quiz. It's a detailed analysis that connects your traits to real-world work functions. Here's how it works. The indicator assesses your temperament, your decision-making style, your natural talents, and your motivational drivers. It maps out the kinds of roles where people like you have historically thrived. Not just survived, but actually found meaning and flow. You might discover you're a conceptualizer, someone who sees connections others miss. Or a coordinator, a natural at streamlining systems and leading teams. Or perhaps a creator, someone who's wired to build, shape, or express something new. The goal isn't to limit you. It's to free you. Because once you know how you're naturally wired, you can stop forcing yourself into careers that don't fit and start designing a life that honors who you are. Lohr points out something crucial. Most job dissatisfaction comes from misalignment. You might be skilled, but are you energized? You might be succeeding, but are you thriving? The Rockport indicator is a compass. It doesn't tell you exactly what to do, but it guides your exploration with clarity and confidence. Armed with your results, you can filter job options more effectively. You'll know what to pursue, what to question, and what to avoid. You'll build a career around your core identity, not external expectations. And perhaps most powerfully, you'll be able to articulate your value to others, employers, clients, collaborators, with authenticity and precision. This isn't just a tool for landing a job. It's a tool for living a more aligned life. So if you're feeling unclear, if you're still unsure where to go next, this may be your next step. Take the Rockport indicator. Study the results. Reflect. And begin crafting the career you were designed to live. Final remarks. Your life, your design. You've made it through the PathFinder. Not just a book, but a blueprint. A map for building a life rooted in your strengths, your values, and your truth. Nicholas Lohr didn't write this book to give you the answers. He wrote it to help you ask the right questions. Because the most fulfilling careers don't come from job boards or algorithms. They come from deep self-awareness, bold decisions, and a commitment to live life on purpose. Remember this. You are not lost. You are just on your way. And every step you've taken through this journey, each exercise, reflection, and chapter, has brought you closer to clarity. So take a breath. Trust the process. And start designing the life you've been longing to live. If this summary gave you new insight, a little hope, or a spark of motivation, do us a favor. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing book summaries. There's more to come. More tools, more inspiration, more support for your journey. Because this isn't the end. It's just your next beginning. Thanks for listening. Now go build the career and the life you were meant for.